Hey, how's it going, guys? So today we're going to be installing a different steering wheel into the Mazda Protege5. I have a pretty cool, unique, rare one that I'm going to be replacing it with. I mean, it's not super rare, but it is definitely an upgrade over the original. So this right here is the steering wheel that we're going to be replacing. This is a Nardi steering wheel from the NB1 Miata, I think. But if you're familiar with the Mazdas around this time, I'm sure the steering wheel is very familiar. So it's got the pretty cool Nardi badge on the front, which this right here is the airbag. And then the wheel itself, made in Italy, and it's got some pretty nice leather. Could use maybe a re-dyeing, but I think that it is in fairly good shape, and it's a lot better than the current one that I have now. So the steering wheel I have in here right now is quite beat up, especially up here at the top. The actual Mazda airbag itself is also chipping a lot. So this thing could be kind of restored a bit. I think it could kind of use a wrap, but I think that this new one will just look a lot better, and it'll be a really nice touch to have that Nardi emblem right here. So my car does have cruise control. The problem would be that the new steering wheel doesn't actually have a cutout on the back to have these buttons mounted. But for me, it's not gonna be a problem because I've turbocharged the car, and that actually makes cruise control kind of like a danger to use. So not gonna be a problem. So to replace the steering wheel, it's actually pretty simple. There's only a few steps that's needed required. The very first one is to disconnect your battery. You want to disconnect it for probably around 30 minutes just to make sure that there's any electricity or anything, because we are going to have to mess with the airbag, and the last thing that you want to have to deal with is an airbag blowing up in your face. And all you want to do is just disconnect your negative terminal and let that sit. So there's only actually a couple of screws holding the airbag in, and the first one is right here behind this rubber cap. There's going to be one on the other side right behind the cruise control. As you can see, the bolt is right there. The other bolt is right behind the cruise control under this rubber cap that simply comes off. So you actually only need a couple tools. One of them right here is this steering wheel remover. You don't entirely need it. There's a lot of people that you can kind of bump the steering wheel off and it'll come off. But I'm gonna do it right, so I got one of these, I think at Napa. It's only like 12 bucks. Super easy piece. I'll show you how to use it, but you throw a couple bolts into the steering wheel, and they actually go into these two bolts right here, I believe. You tighten this down, and then it just simply pushes the steering wheel out. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take those caps off, as you just saw, and then I'm actually gonna unscrew them off, and then you can take the airbag out and then unclip it. So the airbag is loose now. It is connected just by that clip on the back of it. So we have to disconnect that, and then we should be able actually to remove the steering wheel. So yeah, I got the airbag out. It's a pretty cool little clip right here, and all you have to do is press on this, and that takes the clip out. So that steering wheel puller, we're gonna add it to these two holes right here after we take off this very large bolt right here surrounding it, and then that's gonna push the steering wheel out, and that should be it. I think there's a couple other little clips that we have to undo, which it looks like these ones right here. So I got these other clips down here that come out, and then I also got this very large bolt, which I think was like a 19 or maybe like a 20 something mil, but pretty big. But it's time to finally remove that and use that steering wheel puller. So I actually have the steering wheel puller in place. As you can see, you got the washers, there's two bolts that go in there, and then this thing right here. And then we're gonna tighten it down, and it should start pulling the steering wheel off of the hub. So I use the puller, and now that's it. So now we can replace it with the other one, put everything back together, and it should be good. So I push the steering wheel in there, and it seems to be pretty good, even though it's not even bolted down yet. Gonna plug this plug back in down there, plug the airbag, do that bolt, and everything should be good. That's it. That clip was a little bit finicky actually putting it back in. Got it figured out though, and now all we have to do is add the two screws onto the side to hold the airbag in, and that's it, guys. Everything is mounted pretty well. It looks a little bit worse actually on camera, but the steering wheel is very smooth, not very large gouges, and like I said, the nice Nardi patch in the middle is a great touch to have. A little bit nicer leather, I feel like. And getting rid of the cruise control is a nice simplified look. The last step we have is literally just to reinstall the battery and connect that terminal. yeah, and that's it guys. So to install a new steering wheel in your car, it's super easy, just a few bolts to actually do. It only takes maybe about like an hour in time. So yeah, that's about it. Sorry about the long drought between videos. It's been really hard balancing my personal life and balancing content for the car itself. But I do have a couple more videos planned. One of them is really cool. It's gonna be something back here. And then another one is a lot larger video, kind of like the overview video that I made. Yeah, make sure you guys drop a like and subscribe if you haven't, ring the bell. Actually, like 95% of you guys that are watching aren't subscribers. So if you subscribe, it's pretty awesome. And I hope you guys have a good one. Later.